Yeah, man, America is so winning. You know what's gonna make America win? If we keep dicking around and fucking with other countries. Yeah, that's so winning. Yeah, we're so gonna win doing that. Yeah, you know what we shouldn't be doing? We shouldn't be thinking about fucking stupid ass, gay ass renewable energy, and like, you know, maybe trying to build our own supply chain for building solar panels, which are the most efficient renewable energy that is at the technological disposal of humanity right now. Yeah, fuck all that. That's woke. That's woke. We need to fucking blast grandma in the head.
Equals more money to American oil companies equals more money in aid to Israel equals benefit to Israel.
Yeah. I mean, also having a Zionist in charge is gonna. So, you know, a little change. Okay, I added a plant. You have a plant now. I'm trying to think of a name for him. Haven't come up with one yet. I'm starting the stream off very late today. Actually 2 hours later than I was hoping. Actually more like 3 now. God damn. Time flies. But I got a phone call from an old friend and we were talking for a while about, you know, life and whatnot. All that bullshit. But, yeah. I've been on vacation for a few days. I scheduled some uploads, okay? And one of my videos did pretty well. But it got a ton of comments, though. And, unfortunately, I wasn't able to respond to all of them because I was on mobile. But I went back through and I responded, I believe, to every single one, 99%. And, you know, we'll see if they respond. But most of them were kind of, you know, nothing burgers. Anyway, let's just get straight into it. Today we are reacting to some more Tom Fo. Let's go.
Trump activated 4,000 Marines to go fight in Venezuela against Maduro. Just guess how many militiamen Maduro just activated in response. I'll give you a second. Did you say 4.5?
15% of the country.
Million?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yes. Yes, this is such an epic win, bro. Yeah, you're so right, Tom Fo. Oh, hell yeah. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is the shit the CIA is posting right now.
As the helicopter carrying detained Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro touched down at a heliport on the west side of Manhattan, Joanna Martucci, a Venezuelan American who fled her native country over a decade ago, was brought to tears.
It's the best day of our lives. We were hoping for this moment to happen for a long time, and we're just hopeful.
It just feels so much relief and peace to finally see the guy that I left my
So watching it's really interesting that he's playing this.
country for be in there.
The feeling of joy and relief emanated through the streets in lower Manhattan. This rally unfolding in Chinatown Saturday afternoon, hours after the U.S. carried out the large-scale strike in Venezuela, capturing President Maduro and his wife, where the couple is now here in New York to face narco-terrorism charges. From the streets to community hubs, there was no shortage of celebration. At El Budare Cafe in Jackson Heights, amid the smiles, there was cautious optimism.
Oh yeah, everybody's scared, but we have to celebrate now.
Tell me how this news is being received in Iran. How's it being received in Russia? How's it being received in China? All three predict.
But anyway, the reason it's interesting that he's playing this is because, so, like, when we toppled the regime in Libya and Somalia and Afghanistan and Iraq, you had people celebrating in the street. And Americans were like, see, they love it. They love that we did this. It's so awesome. And now, how do those people feel about the regime change? How do they feel about it now?
Will deplore this kind of activity publicly. Privately,
Venezuelans
they
are gonna
will
love this.
be
They're gonna love it
impressed
so
with the
much, bro.
military
We're
capability
liberating
here.
them.
I would argue none of those three militaries could have executed an
So fucking
operation
stupid.
like this. And again, we tend to just breeze by this. But the idea of finding, fixing, kidnapping, taking him out alive with his wife, no casualties on the side of the U.S., that's an extraordinary military operation.
Yeah, fuck everyone else. Yeah, fuck them. Oh, no Americans died. Hooray! I mean, for real, I'm happy that no Americans died. I don't think we know the exact casualty amount yet. We'll see. There were those Chinese ambassadors that were like apparently dodging bullets or some shit. I don't know, like Matrix style.
So I think while there will be a lot of public condemnation of the United States, predictably from those three nations, privately they'll be saying to themselves, that's a very capable military. That's not a bad thought to pop up in Beijing, Moscow, and Tehran these days.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got your boy, Maduro. He has been taken out, and it only took like 2 hours. But the reason why I'm going to make this video is I just have some thoughts on this. I didn't talk about this earlier because
Let's hear it, bro.
I felt like this is something where there's going to be a lot of information that's just going to come out over the next like 2 days. So I don't want to just make a video and just tell you guys the same shit you've already heard. I want to actually process this stuff, and I want to kind of like have some theories about why I believe they did what they did. Maybe some theories on what the fallout might be, because this just happened. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be going on in the next couple of weeks. And so who knows where this could go, because a lot of people are saying, well, it's already over because we got Maduro. But I mean, they still have loyalists over there.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Okay. Our country is going to install a pro-America, Western, a person that's in the pocket of Western influence. Okay. Specifically, we are installing a woman who is a Zionist, an evil Zionist Israel collaborator. Okay. That's what's happening. That's what we're doing. And something tells me that Venezuelans aren't gonna like that too much. And in fact, I think that we could see like I think we're already seeing it. I saw multiple photos. Somebody let me know if it's AI, but I saw multiple photos of people protesting in Venezuela about the soon to be new president or whatever. Because she's a fucking Zionist, because she loves Israel, and Israel is not popular anywhere, last I checked.
There, so I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I doubt it's going to be some big conflict though, but it's definitely interesting because I mean, even Thomas Massey, for example, tweeted and said, well, how is this going to be constitutionally sound if we're arresting the president and his wife for possessing guns in violation of like a 1934 U.S. firearms law? So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. But the reason why I played the clips at the beginning, I didn't really do like a crazy edit like I usually do, but the reason why I played those clips is because I wanted to...
What? I thought he had weapons of mass destruction. I thought that's what was
give you guys
going on.
What are all the viewpoints, at least in the mainstream? What were the crazy commies on TikTok saying? What are actual Venezuelans saying at this point? And what is the media saying? And the reason why I played that CNN clip, a lot of you guys are gonna be like, why would you play CNN clips?
I like it how this time there isn't even really an excuse at all. Like all the other regime changes, it's been like, oh, they're hiding something. They're gonna blow us up or some shit. They're evil. But this time it was just like, we're doing it. We want the oil. Fuck them.
Bullshit. Well, yeah, but that's a pretty good point that guy was making. Most countries, China, Russia included, are going to denounce what the U.S. did here. Man. They're going to be mad. They're going to say you violated national law. But if you think for a second that
they did, like, I don't know, like, I'm not really mad about it, for real. I mean, it's not like America hasn't violated international law before, but like it's not getting mad to point that out. Okay, it's just factual. Okay, Thomas.
Not every single one of those countries aren't like impressed with the operation. You're like literally smoking crack out of your ass. All right, it's insane how flawless this operation was executed. You have to call a spade a spade. You have to give credit where it is due. If there is any
it happened fucking 5 minutes ago. Why are you're already sucking the dick from the back. It happened 5 minutes ago, and you are already sucking the dick from the back, bro. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You could wait. You could wait for more bro, we don't know. We don't know if it was executed flawlessly. They could have fucking shot children to death for all we know at this point. Okay, we don't know. And I'm not saying that happened. Okay, we don't know how bad it was. We will find out probably, weeks from now, months from now, the whole truth will come out. Like, that's typically how these things go. Okay, this operation is going to remain highly classified, possibly for years. That's it.
Know that America is capable of doing
it was
insane feats. The military, it is this one, 100%.
Yeah,
and a lot of people would say, well, this isn't considered to be like a victory because, we still killed people. And yeah, I mean, 40 people died. But like, if you saw that video with the dude at the beginning, there are people...
well, they did it so fast. That means that it must have been flawless victory.
Talking about this for months. And even to this day, people still say this about the cartels in Mexico. They're like, oh, if the United States went to war with the cartels, they'd have another thing coming. It would be like Vietnam. They would get fucked. It's like, dude, look, Vietnam isn't a good example to bring up. The jungle warfare, like all that different stuff. The reason why I don't think it's good when people keep like rehashing that is because, dude, we have fucking drones. We have AI. We have technology today that we didn't have during Vietnam. If we had drones in Vietnam, if we had the same shit, we probably would have won. And I know a lot of you might disagree.
No, but that's not the point, though. The point is that the United States of America, which was a uniquely, and still is, a uniquely powerful military force, they fought a bunch of farmers with rifles that were slapped together. Okay, and they lost. America lost. America, the most advanced military in the world that had tons of helicopters and fucking missiles and napalm and shit. They had all of that. And they couldn't beat a group of farmers because of the home turf advantage. And if you think that, like, in the modern day, like, yeah, America is more advanced now. Yeah. So are the cartels. Okay, the cartels are a lot more advanced than the rice farmers in North Vietnam, dumbass. The fuck are you talking about?
But I'm just saying, it's like, times are different, things are different, our military is much more capable.
Shit.
Not every single person in the military...
they're so much more capable now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, under the wise and astute eye of Pete Drunk Seth, or whatever the fuck we're calling him, okay? The fucking alcoholic leader of the largest military in the free world, who is literally an alcoholic, he literally has a drinking problem and lied about it in front of Congress. And that wasn't even a year ago. That was like what, like 10 months ago when he did that? Yeah, remember when Pete Hegseth swore that he would not drink? He would not drink if he became Secretary of Defense. Secretary of War, which is a more apt name, to be fair. Okay. But remember when Pete Hegseth said that he would not drink anymore if he became Secretary of War? And then he became Secretary of War, and at his inauguration, he poured himself a drink. And it wasn't even on the rocks, bro. It wasn't even on the rocks.
Obviously, but when you're using like Delta Force and stuff like this, it's different, okay? And like, you have people who are bragging about how, yeah, the U.S. military would get fucked if they went up against the cartels. No, it would be more like that movie Sicario. And I don't like using movies as references, but like, yeah, it would be fucking cleaning house.
Yeah, it would be just like this movie. Yeah, I don't like using movies is right, but it would be just like this movie. Dude, you are it writes itself.
It would be the easiest shit in the world.
The comedy writes itself. Oh yeah, so badass, yeah. This is exactly what it would be like, yeah.
The only problem is the optics. It would be bloody, it would be violent. But if it was, hey, who's more capable of violence, the U.S. military or the cartels don't got shit. In fact, the only thing they can really count on in a conflict like that is the benevolence of the United States, is us taking...
No, the cartels do have shit. Okay. If you're wondering what the cartels got, I'll tell you. Okay. They have a vast amount of wealth at their disposal. Yeah, it doesn't hold a candle to America, okay, but again, rice farmers, okay, and they have home advantage. They're on their home turf. Do you understand? Do you understand how this could be really bad for America? But it doesn't stop there. I'm gonna keep comparing it to Vietnam. Let's keep going, okay? Because why did America lose to a bunch of rice farmers? Was it because of the home turf advantage? You know? Yeah, sort of. But there was something else too, and that is a lack of clear, like there was no clear path for America to take, because the goalposts kept changing. Okay, for those of you that don't know, the Vietnam War, here's how it went down, okay? The guys told the big dogs in the American military told the little guys, go take this hill. We need this hill. We need it. Okay, they would go. They'd take the hill. They'd lose a few men, kill the Viet Cong. Okay, all right, we got the hill. Okay, put up a camp, set up base. Yada yada. Okay. Well, actually, now we need to move on to this next hill over here. Okay, well, we'll do that. Oh, wait, now we've lost the original hill. The Viet Cong took it back because we went in. So, like, this is what happened. Okay, the goalpost kept shifting. Americans didn't understand what we were fighting. Okay, we were just fighting a bunch of peasants, and they just kept coming. Because like, you kill one peasant, there's like 1,000 more behind them. Do you understand? Like that, and anyway, there's going to be a similar issue with a war with the cartels. And I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like that. No. Because there is more of there is a more clear path here for taking out the cartels, and that is taking out the leadership. Arresting the leaders of these cartels. But if you think that like there isn't going to be this fog around like what do we need to do, there is going to be that. Okay, because there were leaders in the Viet Cong, and that was kind of the ultimate goal of the Vietnam War, was to take those guys out. Okay, but in order to get to them, you got to go through 1 million peasants. Okay, that's the problem. And you're gonna have a similar problem if you try to fight the cartel, except they are, again, a lot more advanced than the agriculture-based society of fucking North Vietnam in 1960. And furthermore, they have just like tons of money at their disposal, and that is a factor. Okay, they can buy shit. They can buy, tools for building weapons, building improvised explosives, all this shit. Okay, maybe even like biological warfare. I think it could get real nasty with this. I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a really, really bad idea. The fact that people like you are humoring this idea, like that going to war with the cartels would be this epic Chungus moment, and we would and we would just stomp all over them immediately. It's delusional. It's delusional. That would never happen. That would never happen. Now, look, if they could somehow do an operation like they did with Maduro to take out these cartel leaders, then that would be, well, that would be better than, like, full-on Vietnam-style war. But it is probably not possible. Maduro, after all, is, or was, a foreign leader, okay, who appeared in public quite often. Cartel leaders, they typically, stay below the radar a little bit more, I think.
Doing things easy, not going like all out on them. That's basically what it is. And if you don't acknowledge that, you're retarded. But like I said, people like this idiot at the beginning, he was talking about how, 4.5 million people. Essentially saying, you're going to have to kill 4.5 million Venezuelans to get to Maduro. And it's like, well, actually, we just have to kill 40. And I did go on antiwar.com. I did look at the report they did on it. And it is kind of sad because a lot of the people were civilians. One of which was this 80-year-old woman. She died. I think like a wall collapsed on her. And, rest in peace to her. Like, rest in peace to the civilians, because a lot of those people are just in situations where they can't leave. They're just there. They're just in the wrong place, wrong time. And, it is horrible, but also at the same time.
Yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers, right? Thoughts and prayers. Well, that's just the casualty of war. Yeah, not war. I mean, operation. That's just the casualty of that's the cost of doing business, Oh, well. I mean, really, man. Like, how can you be like, this is so awesome, this was amazing, we did so good, Venezuelans are liberated, they're so thankful. And in the same breath, you're like, but, the fucking 80-year-old woman, fuck her. Fucking bitch.
Same time, only 40. And there are other injuries and stuff, but like only 40 people. And everybody was talking about how they were going to have to kill tens of thousands, if not millions, to get Maduro. That's a pretty big win. And like I said, the show of force is something where it's like, all right, that is impressive. But we're going to talk about the buildup to this, what the United States did to kind of get in this position to execute this, because this is like the very end of a long operation. Tons of intel gathering, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and let's read this piece from Time Magazine. They did an article on it, and this comes from the segment Months of Pressure. So the raid on Maduro's compound was the endpoint of a strategy Trump began accelerating last fall, after authorizing the CIA to take a more aggressive posture towards Venezuela. The New York Times reported that the CIA officers working clandestinely inside the country since August built a detailed picture of Maduro's pattern of life, where he lived, how he moved, and when he was most vulnerable. There was also a report from Reuters that said elite U.S. troops, including the Army's Delta Force, created an exact replica of Maduro's safe house and practiced how they would enter the strongly fortified residence, which is something they usually do when they're tackling an operation like this. I'm pretty sure they did the same thing for bin Laden, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they do this shit all the time, right? So what I'm getting at is they prepped. They did their homework. They watched him. They figured out what he did, what time he went to bed, what he ate for breakfast, what times he'd take a shit. They had that all down to a T, so they knew exactly when they were going to go in and pull this off. Another thing I saw is that this was actually supposed to happen last year. It wasn't supposed to happen on the 3rd of this year. It was supposed to happen at the very end of 2025, but according to like some reports, there was a lot of issues with the weather, so they had to like pause on the operation. And I mean, who knows? If Maduro had some type of intel or some contact that was in our government that would give him tips, I doubt he did. Let's just say that he had somebody somewhere that could tip him off and say, hey, they're going to do this. This is the date they're going to do it. They could have been preparing for the end of the year, and then it doesn't happen, and they're thinking, oh, they're not going to do it. And the next thing you know, 2-3 days later, they're doing it, and they're like, oh, fuck, they just waited. And I'm not saying that that's something that happened. I don't think he had any contact, because from what it sounds like is that the CIA was working with the Venezuelan government. They had contacts in the government. A lot of people don't like Maduro. A lot of people want Maduro gone. A lot of people want him dead. It looks like there was some type of help from the inside, which makes sense, because that's another reason why the operation went so smoothly, right? But another crazy fact that I saw was from Anti-War, and it talked about how the U.S. assault involved more than...
So smoothly. Oh, you guys, only one 80-year-old woman got crushed to death. Yeah, what a smooth operation that was.
150 aircraft and strikes on Venezuelan military facilities and air defenses, and that was to ensure safe passages for the helicopters into the target area so they could pick up Maduro. But it's crazy because 12 hours before they did this, there was another report where Maduro was actually looking to make peace with the U.S. He was trying to strike a deal. So he was trying to do that again, which he's done that multiple times. And there's kind of like a theory I've had about this, and I'll just go ahead and say it, which, by the way, there's no proof of this. There's no evidence. This is just like something that kind of popped up in my head, and it's probably not true. All right, so I'm just telling you that straight up. But wouldn't it be funny if Maduro actually did strike a deal with the U.S.? And the only way he could have gotten extracted or whatever is for things to happen the way they did, because a lot of people in his own government want him to die. They don't like him. He does have loyalists, but it's kind of like a crazy idea. What if he did strike a deal and the only way they could get him out was they just had to kind of put on like the show? I don't think that's true ultimately, but it is a thought that kind of popped up in my head because the operation just went so flawlessly. It was executed perfectly, and it's kind of crazy.
Again, it happened yesterday. Also, an 80-year-old woman was crushed to death. Stop saying this. Stop. Oh, it went so smoothly. Dude, no, of course Maduro didn't strike a fucking deal. Are you brain dead? The fuck are you smoking? Yeah, no, Maduro wanted to get arrested by the fucking United States government that wants to, like, put him in prison forever or execute him or some shit for being an evil commie. Okay, man.
But I don't think that's true. It's just kind of a thought that popped up. In regards to all of this, what happened, the fallouts, and you see the fallout with like the liberals, the communists over here in the US. They're freaking out, they're protesting, they're like, how can you be okay? This is imperialistic, this is fascist. And then you hear stuff like with the US saying, we're basically going to run the Venezuelan government until we can put another regime in and get that in place, and it has to be like actually democratic. That's what Trump said, because that's what we're all about. He said that. He's like, we're all about democracy. So that's crazy. I know a lot of people...
Yeah, you know what screams democracy? Installing a Zionist fucking piece of shit dictator. Yeah. That's so democratic.
Who are okay with the operation. They're not okay with that. They're actually like, okay, that's not good. And you see stuff with like Thomas Massie saying, if this action was constitutionally sound, why would we be arresting these guys, Maduro and his wife, on gun violations for firearms or whatever? Like, why would we be doing it for the most simplest shit? And then you hear other people say, oh, it's so Trump didn't violate any actual like law or anything like that, because if they can get him on these charges, then it's not really an act of war or like all this other stuff. Because I mean, people are going to use this as a way to push impeachment on Trump. That is a strategy you're going to see pop up probably this year.
You know, if they do actually allow democratic elections, great. You know, I hope that the Venezuelan population chooses wisely. Okay. I don't really personally think that they're going to do that at this point. If that changes, I'll let you know. Okay, but
and
they're
I've seen a lot of people say,
installing
oh, we're flying this guy to New York, we're going to try him in New York, but what happens if he doesn't get convicted? Are we just going to send him back? And, well, here's the thing. Here's another idea, which I don't know if it's true. What if the goal isn't to actually convict him? What if it's just to remove him from power long enough to put another regime in place? Because if we get another regime in place, and if he doesn't get convicted, like, what are you going to do? You're going to send him back to Venezuela, where the other newer government is just going to convict him of other shit he's done? A lot of people there don't like him. So he's out of it. Like, even if he doesn't get convicted, it's over. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't really matter. So even if the charges don't stick and he just goes back home, it's like, that's not really going to be good for him. He's just going to get executed 100%. And you see all these Venezuelans celebrating. And I'm actually going to talk about that in a minute, because I see a lot of America First people saying, well, why would we do this? This is bad. This is horrible. This just favors Israel, and it favors them because Venezuela didn't have a Rothschild bank. It didn't have a central bank. And now
it does do that. Yeah, huh? Oh, wow. So you're listening to your audience now. That's good.
They have a central bank. They're going to put their embassy at Jerusalem and all this, and they're going to bend the knee to Israel. Maduro was holding off against the Jews and all this and that and all these different things. And we have to ask ourselves, does this truly benefit the American people? Now, if the regime change that's coming destabilizes the country...
Huh? Yeah, you know, it's a good point. Why the fuck do you even care about any of this shit? I thought we only cared about America. Why the fuck are you talking about this? I mean, why are you talking about it in depth? I kind of understand, like, the glazing of the military, right? That makes sense. Okay, yeah, our boys in camo are so buff and sexy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did a flawless operation. And then they all high-fived after. Okay? And they slapped each other's asses. Job well done. Okay, in a very hetero way. You could just end it there. Okay, you don't really have to talk about all this shit. It's not gonna look good for you. It's not gonna look good for you and here's why. Because your audience is a bunch of Jew-hating morons, okay, foaming at the mouth, and our president, our big beautiful boy, is about to install a Zionist into this office to replace Maduro for the crime of Maduro nationalizing the oil industry and saying fuck you to the Rothschilds. Like, I don't think your audience is gonna... Why do you keep doing this, man? I want to see his dislikes, bro. I need to look at that.
If it just leads more and more people to come here illegally from Venezuela, then obviously it doesn't benefit us. But I'm not...
I don't know.
Gonna lie, guys. I fail to see the reasoning behind the central bank shit. It's like, does Venezuela not having a Jewish central bank benefit Americans? No. Does it benefit Venezuela? Arguably, yeah, but also no. It's one of those things where it doesn't fucking really hurt or benefit us at all, whether they have a central bank or they don't, because we're not Venezuela. We're Americans. The main thing we should be worried about at this point is, does this new regime, the change that's coming, is it going to destabilize the country? If not,
well,
it's
that's
good for
the meta.
Us. And you want to know why? Because of the remigration. We have around 650,000 Venezuelans in the United States that are unauthorized, illegal aliens. They came here under the... 650,000 Venezuelans in the United States. And you want to know why? Because of the remigration. We have around 650,000 Venezuelans in the United States that are unauthorized, illegal aliens. They came here under the protection, right, of we're fleeing a dictatorship. We're trying to leave our homeland because it's dangerous. And the United States has given them money, given them resources, and has kept them here. If the regime change goes over well, these people literally have no standing to stay here whatsoever. Even with the argument...
Wait, so you called them illegals despite the fact that they are here legally. So you admitted that they are here legally, but you called them illegals. Why did you do that, Tomfo? I wonder.
That liberals have, that people that want open borders and want anybody to just come over here, the only argument they've been using is that Venezuela is dangerous. Venezuela has a dictator. Venezuela, they're killing their own people. They're starving their own people. Well, if things are changing over there, they have no reason to stay, even with their own arguments. Now, obviously, they're still going to make arguments because it's not really about protecting them. It's about just bringing as many foreigners over here to begin with.
That's why we got to send them to concentration camps.
Which isn't even illegal because they're here illegally. But the only argument anybody was making from that point of view was because of Maduro. And now he's gone. And a lot of Venezuelans actually want to live in Venezuela. They love their country. They just hated the government. And you have to think about that. That's a big number. 650,000? That's huge. Do you know how many immigrants the Trump administration deported in 2025? It was around 600,000. They say like 2 million, but that's from self-deports, and not all of those are illegals. Like, the numbers are skewed. It's about 600,000 in total. So if 650,000 Venezuelans go back home, that's already more than what Trump did in an entire year for illegal immigrants. And then also, here's another thing for you guys to think about. Ready? You have legal Venezuelans, people who have green cards, who live here, who, like you saw in those videos, they're celebrating. They're happy. A lot of them want to go back home. And now they're going to start the process of remigration. The idea, the hope of them going back home, rebuilding their country, that's important to them because they have some type of patriotism for their homeland, right? Which you got to respect it. And now a lot of them...
Maduro immediately deported to Venezuela for being an illegal alien.
Zingo.
We're going to want to go back home. So not only do you have the 650,000 illegals that are here that now have no reason to stay here whatsoever, and obviously are all of them going to go back? I mean, who knows? I don't think they're going to get deported, but there's probably a good amount of them that want to return home, and now they will start that process. And then you have the illegals too that are going to want to go back. So from the point of view of remigration, this is a net positive for Americans. It is. From the point of view of like Venezuela holding off from the Jewish oligarchs and the central banking system and all that shit, no, it's not good. But also at the same time, Maduro wasn't really doing a good job to begin with either. He was fucking up. And if you want an example of that, look at his allies. Look at China. I made a video talking about Venezuela and the Western Hemisphere crusade that the United States...
I can't complain. I just started this stream. I was on vacation for a few days. I just got back. Yeah. How did you find my stream? Were you just browsing random streams?
Hey there, Aryan said ooh.
Yeah.
Hey there, Aryan said Minecraft section man.
Aw, shit. I am so sorry, man. You're right. Yeah. Sorry, I changed the category on Kick, but not on here. That's my bad. I will be playing Minecraft in approximately about 30 minutes. Yeah. You should stick around. Okay, I got a real good Minecraft world, bro. Can't wait to show it to you.
States is kind of embarking on. And basically, what I said in that video is that
but
China...
Right now, I'm reacting to politics. I'm also a political commentator. Yeah.
Is one of their biggest allies was actually kind of pissed at them because Venezuela had been fucking up a bunch of like the operations they were doing. China was investing in their infrastructure, their networks, building ports, all these different things, and then Venezuela would sell them their oil.
Minecraft with his wife when he got picked up.
Yeah, I don't think that's what happened, man. I don't know. I mean, we're not gonna find out for a while what the fuck went down, but you know, at least we do know about a lot of the civilian casualties. Yeah. Flawless execution. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was such a flawless execution.
Aryan said XD, I was joking.
Yeah, I know. Yo, if Maduro plays Minecraft, I'll actually be sad. That's such a L.
Hey there, Aryan said, yeah, the civilian casualties are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, 80-year-old woman crushed by a wall. Yeah. Liberated. You have been liberated by America.
Maduro wasn't really doing a good job to begin with either. He was fucking up. And if you want an example of that, look at his allies. Look at China. I made a video talking about Venezuela and the Western Hemisphere crusade that the United States is kind of embarking on. And basically, what I said in that video is that China, which is one of their biggest allies, was actually kind of pissed at them because Venezuela had been fucking up a bunch of like the operations they were doing. China was investing in their infrastructure, their networks, building ports, all these different things. And then Venezuela would sell them their oil, or at least trade them their oil because they're not actually buying it. And that's kind of like what they were doing. But China didn't do shit. A lot of people were saying, yeah, China's going to step in. China had officials that were there when the operations took place. And I even tweeted about it. I was like, holy fuck, that might actually be bad. because I didn't know the operation was going to go so
said,
smoothly.
Funny
It
how
went
countries
perfectly,
with
like 3
oil
hours,
and
3 hours.
resources are the only ones consistently liberated by the USA.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Wow. I never noticed that. No, that can't be true. It can't be true. No, America is so wholesome and epic. What are you talking about, man?
Hey there, Arian said, what a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds? You know, who knows?
And obviously people died, but what I'm getting at is everybody thought this was going to escalate more, and who knows? I mean, the fallout could be way worse than what we're seeing right now.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, just like just a 80-year-old woman was brutally murdered. Oh well, that's once again, it's the cost of doing business.
And it came from a gentleman named Ken Ko. I think that's how you say his last name. I could be wrong. From the China Crash Chronicle, and he did a video basically called "China Won't Bleed for You," and Maduro just proved it. And it was a very interesting video. I highly recommend you guys check out his Twitter and watch his take on it. But essentially, China spent over $100 billion propping up Venezuela. Then they just watched as its ironclad ally was arrested and flown out in a flawless U.S. operation. That's what he says. You can see it in the tweet, but in the video he goes into more detail.
Yeah, I mean, China's mad, but also China doesn't really give a fuck. Okay, because this is kind of like a blip to China. I mean, first of all, they are heavily investing in renewable energy, which means that they rely less on gas and of course, oil.
Hey there,
also, they
Arian
have Brazil.
said they would say, it's a small price to pay for freedom. They don't gaff about the 80-year-old woman at all.
Yeah, I know, man. Look, this is honestly, like, I don't want to downplay this because, like, it is awful that an old woman as well as a bunch of other civilians were murdered. But this is just another Saturday for America. Okay, this is nothing. Obama bombed a children's hospital. Obama bombed a fucking children's hospital, bro. Like, and that wasn't even a big deal. Do you understand? Like, this country has done so much fucked up shit.
And it's actually a very good point, because China was upset with a lot of the ways Venezuela was conducting themselves and doing things, because they were fucking up a lot of infrastructure, construction, all these different projects they were working on, and it was kind of irritating.
Yeah, look, man, China is doing a lot of soft power stuff.
And he got a Nobel Prize for that.
Oh, yeah. And that's, like, that's the thing. Like, it's like participation trophies. Basically, it means nothing anymore. The Nobel Peace Prize. Remember when the Nobel Peace Prize actually, like, meant doing something good? Remember that? Yeah, me neither.
And China knew what was going on. Like, we all knew this was eventually going to happen. Maduro
was yeah, but anyway, China
said for real.
China has, first of all, I'll tell you why China doesn't give a fuck about this. Okay, China has Brazil, number one. Yeah, China is probably, especially if they install that Zionist, which they definitely are going to do. China, obviously they're not gonna be able to recoup their investments, in their soft power initiative kind of, doesn't work there.
Hey there,
in that
Arian
case in
said
Venezuela.
the Nobel Prize's inventor, Alfred Nobel, was the
guy
guy
who made dynamite,
who invented dynamite, lol.
Yeah, and his brother died. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was his brother died. But they reported that it was him, and in his obituary, they called him like a stinky son of a bitch, or something. And then he was like, "I'm gonna turn my life around," and he invented the Nobel Peace Prize. And that's literally it. That's literally it, dog.
Hey there, Arian said loudly crying face emoji.
Yeah, I'm laughing until I'm crying, me personally, but I can appreciate the crying.
Get seized or attacked, like something was going to happen, and China's done nothing. And like the guy said,
but anyway, China has a ton of other soft power things that they're doing in other countries, in South America, in Africa especially. I don't really think that Venezuela is, other than like the petrodollar thing, China's not going to suffer very much from this, okay? And, like, when it comes to oil, they have other ways of getting it. It kind of makes me think that maybe America just did this, Trump did this, just because, like, China is shitting all over him over the tariffs. Okay, and he's feeling humiliated, he's feeling sad, so that's why they did this. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the real answer is that we wanted the oil. Okay, that's the real answer, of course. But all the other stuff is
you're going to see China and all these people come out. They're going to say this is deplorable, this is illegal, how could you, whatever. But China's secretly going like, oh shit, that actually like worked perfectly for them. We couldn't do anything about it. And now there's going to be a push for regime change. And who knows how smoothly that's going to go. It could be a big conflict that comes from the loyalists that Maduro had. It could be China getting involved in some way. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the regime change is just going to be implemented. I think they're just going to put some puppet government in place for the U.S. and for Israel. And a lot of people are going to get mad. You know, they're saying, well, why would you be happy about that? And
yeah,
why would you be happy about that, man?
Really
what?
Mad that China's got greater influence on Panama Canal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's why he was, like, talking about, invading the Panama Canal. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And, like, of all the crazy shit he said during that time, like, the first, month of his admin, that's the real shit, okay? That's the real shit he might do. And anyway, I don't know. I don't know. It would be... I think that would actually probably start World War III.
Hey there, Aryan said they talking about taking Greenland again, loudly crying face emoji.
Again? I didn't even hear about that. Why? Why? Who gives a fuck? Why? Why are we doing that? What? Greenland? Cause like that one, that's just like a meme, you know? That's just like for funsies. Okay, that's probably why they're talking about it. Okay, they're just, they're triggering the libs, bro. That's what they're doing. Okay, the Panama Canal is the real shit. Okay, because, like, what the fuck is Greenland good for? What? The fuck are we gonna get out of Greenland? A big block of ice? What?
It's not that I'm happy about it. It's that this is just going to happen regardless.
I'm sure you know, okay, they call it Greenland, but it is not green.
And it's the same thing I said in
my
Live by the Sword,
useful
Die by
territory.
Nuclear Annihilation video. I said, look, fuck what we have to say. Fuck what you and I think about this. This is what's happening. The
Maybe
government
there's
put
oil.
out their plan for what they're going to do with the Western
There's gotta
Hemisphere.
be
This is a
some
conquest
oil.
they're going on. It's a crusade. This isn't going to stop with just Venezuela. You know, I'm hearing
Hey
people
there,
say rumors how
said
Cuba's
not
next.
even a week in 2026, and the FIFA Peace Prize winner already talking about treading on others' sovereignty.
Yeah, President of Peace, man. President of Peace strikes
I'm hearing
again.
other people say how Mexico is going to be
Am I
another
right?
thing where this happens, and a lot of people would disagree and say, oh, well, that's not... I'm just saying, wait, this is the next decade, 2 decades of what the American...
Dude, you
I'm
are
hearing people
delusional.
said, look,
This
fuck what we
guy
have to
is
say.
so
Fuck what you and
crazy.
I think about this. Saying, well, why would you be happy about that? And it's not that I'm happy about it. It's that this is just going to happen regardless.
not happy
and it's
about
the same thing I said.
Oh, okay. So we should just accept it. We should
Hey
just
there,
accept
Aryan
it then.
said Greenland's got a lot of natural resources and oil hidden under the ice.
Right. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know shit about that. That would certainly be a reason to take it. That would be a reason. Okay, and I wouldn't say it's a good one, but whatever. Anyway, this person I'm reacting to, if you can't tell,
Hey
is
there,
a
Aryan
groiper.
said that's why they want to take it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a researcher. I don't really know about what's underneath Greenland, but I don't doubt it. Because there must be some reason that we want it, and must
Hey
be
there,
the same
Aryan
reason that we
said
want
too
everything
late
else,
to die
which is
for
oil.
Too early to die for oil.
Just in
time to die for oil.
Yo, you are so correct, man. You really are. You're my favorite chatter so far. You are actually, you're like my second favorite chatter so far. But damn, you're like woke and based and you're soy pilled. That's epic, man.
And my Live by the Sword, Die by
Thank
Nuclear
you.
Annihilation video, I said, look,
Thank you.
fuck what...
Dude, let me tell
Hey
you.
there, Aryan said haha.
Let me just show you something real quick, man. I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, so I have this YouTube channel. You're gonna be in the next video. Okay, I have this YouTube channel where I edit my reacts, and then I upload them. Okay, this was
admin gold.
I edited a few videos before I went on vacation, and I scheduled them to upload. And while I was on vacation, my phone was just blowing up with these motherfuckers, man. Like, look at all this shit. They're going crazy. They're going crazy in my comments.
Hey there,
and I had to
Aryan
delete a
said,
few
"Ooh,
of them.
that's amazing.
Yeah, real amazing. real amazing. I really like talking to these people. If you if you want a good laugh, you could go through these. But I wouldn't blame you if you don't want to. Anyway, back to
we
this.
have to say, fuck what you and I think about this. This is what's happening.
Me personally, I like talking to these people. I like reacting to them. It brings me joy. It brings me anger sometimes, but it does bring me joy. And anyway, it's not for everyone. Okay, it's not for. I get that. Okay, so you don't have to engage with these people. I don't expect people in my audience to do that, but I do it a lot. Okay, I do it a lot. And if you can't tell, my channel is pretty small. I only have a few regular viewers that come in while I'm streaming. And usually they don't come in at this time. I started really late today. It's almost 2 a.m. But I just got back, and then I responded to all these guys. And anyway, I do appreciate you coming in here and talking to me, Chatter. And
the government put out their plan for what they're going to do with the Western Hemisphere. This is a conquest they're going on. It's a crusade. This isn't going to stop with just Venezuela. You know, I'm hearing people say rumors how Cuba's next. I'm hearing other people say how Mexico is going to be another thing where this happens. And a lot of people would disagree and say, oh, well, that's not it. I'm just saying, wait, this is the next decade, 2 decades of what the American military industrial complex.
Yeah, engaging with these people will only result in a lot of comebacks, like ad hominem attacks and nah.
Yeah, well, that's what I want. That's what I want them to do. Like, the classic thing I say is give examples, can you elaborate, and then they just don't respond. Okay, and then they don't respond. And when somebody asks you when you make a claim, and then some random person asks you, like, hey, could you back this up with evidence, with like just statistic, anything, like any number, any kind of research, anything, and then they just don't respond, it's bad look. And anyway, my point is a lot of the people in these communities, these Groyper communities, are young men. They're impressionable, they are disenfranchised, and so I think that I'm the kind of person that can speak to them. And yes, they'll call me gay, they'll call me the R word, whatever, and they'll spout a bunch of bullshit. But if I can change one of their minds, it's worth it. Okay, because I remember what it was like to be a young, disenfranchised man, and I'm not gonna try to tell you oh, you should sympathize with the racist people. Okay, no, I don't feel that way, but these people have gone down a path, and a lot of them can be corrected.
Said there's an account on Instagram called Grokvesmaga where they post these guys absolutely melting while fighting Grok XD.
Yeah, imagine every time I see somebody arguing with AI, no, that's woke-tarded. You're wrong. Use a trad based source. AI. I just imagine somebody punching the air. They're fighting shadow demons. Okay, it's funny. Yeah, I do love that account. That's a classic. Okay, that's an instant classic.
What it's going to be doing is this shit. And it's not always going to be as flawless as Maduro's extraction. It's going to get a little bloody. At one point, it will. Eventually, just wait. But the point being is that this is something the government is already doing. This is something they've already been planning for. It's something they're going to execute. They've already executed. It's not necessarily just about oil. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's about the resources. It's about oil. It's like, well, yeah, that's one part of it. But this is about a whole lot more. And I'm not going to go into all the details about that.
Wait, what? Why not? Why not go into all the details? What? It's not about oil? Oh, guys, it's about a lot of stuff. It's a little bit about oil, but it's about a lot of other things too. I'm not going to get into it right now, but it's about lots of other things.
Watch that. But the point I'm making is you have to look at this from the point of view is, does this benefit actual Americans? Does this benefit you in your future? As long as the country does not get disabled.
No, guys, you don't get it. This isn't about oil. Okay, this is about positioning ourselves as a country to deport a bunch of brown people.
Aryan
Don't you get it?
Can't go into details because he has absolutely no knowledge about the details.
He's not going to go into the details because it's very there is no substance to it. Okay, he's correct that he has already gone into the other details, but the other details is just like, oh, now we're gonna be able to deport a bunch of people. Okay, when we do a regime change in Venezuela, now all of these like immigrants that are here, or not immigrants, I mean refugees, all the refugees that are here that were escaping the Maduro regime, now we can send them back. Okay, I think the number he said was like 650,000. I don't even know if that's exactly true, if that's the exact refugee count from Venezuela. I would have to look into it.
Hey there, Arian said USA finally found their own, Australia, to deport criminals to lol.
Yeah, well, you know, I think I get what you're saying, but it is more nefarious than that, because while it is really funny to remember that Australia, or as I like to call it, Dino Island, was originally a, you know, a prison island for some reason. I think that, like, unironically, the conditions there were like that wasn't like a concentration camp, was it? Because you know, if you want to compare anything to CCOT, to Alligator Alcatraz, these are concentration camps, man. These are like straight up Nazi shit. I don't really know if Australia was ever like that, but it is pretty fucking funny that the entire population of Australia are descendants of like escaped prisoners that were banished to Australia.
Stabilized, which you have to understand, a majority of Venezuelans are celebrating. A huge amount of Venezuelans are now planning on returning home. They want to rebuild their home. They want to make...
Yeah, all right, Fed. All right, now we're Fed posting. All right, gotcha. This is the part of Tom Fo's video where we start Fed posting.
Make their home better. Yeah, are they gonna have?
Yeah, they love it. They love it. It's so
Israel's
awesome.
Greatest ally now, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, but it's like, dude,
they love their government being toppled. They're liberated.
Not Venezuela. We're Americans, and one of our biggest problems we have here.
Sun for white skin is pretty much a concentration camp. Haha.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, that is like torture. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. Yeah, like there are a lot of white people in Australia. What the fuck are they doing, man? How do you even survive? Because like I'm a white person, and I live in the, you know, I'm not gonna be super specific, but I live in the southern United States. I need some water, man. And anyway, I can barely handle the fucking heat down here, and at least it's humid.
Here is our demographics issue, is the immigration, is the illegals. If this works out for Venezuela, and I've said this before, this helps them out to where these people can knowingly go back home and not get fucked up by some dictator.
Okay, there he is. Now he's saying
a lot of them want to go back home. So if that's the case, which I'm starting to think that it's going to be like that, because all these people that are saying, oh, it's like Vietnam,
that's what's going to happen.
You think it's going to go over smoothly, and you think this is going to happen. Now, the only cause for concern is the U.S. running the country. So
yeah, now all of the people that were escaping Venezuela are suddenly just going to want to go back because Maduro's gone. Yeah, surely the reason that they left is not, you know, still an apparent issue. Yeah, well, I will not look any further into why refugees were escaping Venezuela. I will not look into this at all.
It's not completely a net positive for Americans just yet, but if this does work, and if the puppet government for Jews or whatever you want to say does get implemented, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because what happens is we get to send people back. And a lot of the arguments people are using against sending home illegals is you can't send them home, they're fleeing persecution. You can't send them home, they're fleeing a dictatorship. Well, if there's no more persecution, and if there's no more dictatorships, and if they have a central banking system, and if it's more or less like America, it's like, yeah, it's not perfect. It's not really.
How about this? We shouldn't send them home. Okay, and by send them home, I mean send them to a concentration camp, because they are Americans. Because they live in America, they work in America, they have lived here for years, they are Americans now. That's how it works. Immigrants come here, they start working, they build communities, they become Americans. But for some reason, when they're brown, that doesn't really apply as much.
Really in the best interest of Venezuela, but now it's a safer country for people to go back to. That argument doesn't exist anymore. You can actually deport those people, and people are not going to be as mad about it. Even people who do not like deportations, because now they know the home they're going back to is safer. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. But I'm just saying, I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about the immigration aspect of it.
America was built by white Christian nationalists.
Oh,
pleading
so true.
Face emoji, pleading face emoji, loudly crying face emoji.
True. Yo, that is so true, bro.
They're talking about the central bank, talking about Jews, they're talking about China, they're talking, and then you see all these fucking commie idiots defending a dictatorship, and they're saying, oh, well, it's about international law. Get the fuck out of here, dude. People violate that shit all the fucking time. China and India sign laws all the time on green gases and eco-friendly environment procedures, and they fucking break that shit every day of the week, and nobody bats an eye. Like, the amount of countries that violate laws, rules, and obviously this is involving war, it's involving military operations, so it's a little bit different than just, you know, polluting the environment, or is it? Because I don't know, like, destroying the environment's pretty bad too, right? Unless you don't think it is, but like what I'm getting at, people break and violate things all the time. And this might not be so much about...
Whoa, I'm sorry, I got lost. We're doing like some parkour right now with this dialogue. Okay,
we're not going to be as mad about it. Even people who do not like deportations, because now they know the home they're going back to is safer. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. But I'm just saying, I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about the immigration aspect of this. They're talking about the central bank talking...
Yeah, people aren't talking about it because they're not fucking lunatic racist like you are.
Jews. They're talking about China. They're talking, and you see all these fucking commie idiots.
Why are people not talking about this? Oh, it's the communists.
International law.
It's the communists.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. People violate that shit all the fucking time. China and...
Who is bringing up international law? You are bringing it up. You were bringing up international law. Also, what international law has China violated? Do you have evidence of this? When did it happen? Was it recent? How recent?
India sign laws all the time on green gases and eco-friendly environment procedures, and they fucking break that shit every day of the week, and nobody bats an eye. Like, the amount of countries that violate laws, rules, and obviously this is involving war.
Okay. Yeah, they do that. And China does this too. But the difference is that when a billionaire in China breaks that law, you know what happens to him? You want to know what happens to him? Fucking firing squad, bitch. That's what happens to him. They get filled with lead. But when an American billionaire violates that same law in America, you want to know what happens to him? Sir, you are going to have to pay a large fine for what you did. Oh no! What will I do? Oh no! Yeah, man. But you know what the real greenhouse problem is? It's China. It's China. Yeah, bro. They're the
military operation, so it's a little
a country that is like that didn't even start industrializing until the 1950s.
Different than just, you know, polluting the environment, or is it? Because I don't know, like, destroying the environment's pretty bad too, right? Unless you don't think it is. But like what I'm getting at, people break and violate things all the time.
I'm gonna lose.
And this
might
not be so much about actually arresting Maduro and getting him convicted. It's just about removing him. And in Maduro's best interest, this might actually have saved his life, because he might not get convicted here, but it could get set up to where it's like, well, we can't send him back home because he's just gonna get executed, so we can send him somewhere else.
Oh, I mean, we actually did him a favor. Oh yeah.
Send him back home and he gets killed.
Great commentary. I don't care. Who cares about this? Why would anyone care about this?
When a billionaire messes around in China, he becomes the past. When a billionaire messes around in America, he becomes the future.
I never heard that one before. That's interesting. It's true. Yeah. Now, more like when a billionaire messes around in America, they become a billion times richer. Okay. And by mess around, I mean fuck over the working class. Okay, that's what I mean.
But what I'm saying, for the time being, this might have actually prolonged his life, because he has a lot of enemies on his own side. And really, we just had to get him out of the picture so we could enact regime change. And I mean, look at it. As soon as the attacks happened, they enacted all of these emergency procedures. They're telling people to go out into the streets, get your guns ready, like, come fight, come protect your Presidente or whatever. Like, they were like, come, save Maduro. And nobody showed up. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a shit, because people know what's up. They don't want him. They don't like him. They know eventually it was going to lead to failure. And all these people daydreaming about it being a second Vietnam and how they were going to fight to the end and they were going to beat the military. It's like, dude, no. That's not going to happen, all right? This isn't Afghanistan, and a lot of people bring up Afghanistan.
Did you
I know, man.
Elon Musk's trying to become a trillionaire?
Yeah. He's not trying. He's on his way. Like, he will become a trillionaire. Okay. Actually, he might already be one, for all I know. Let's find out. Is Elon Musk a trillionaire? When did I look up if he was married? I know he ain't married. He's a dickless loser. He's not yet a trillionaire. Okay, he's at 726 billion. I thought he had gotten past 800 last time. He's got to be past 800 by now. What? By late 2025? Wait. Plan SpaceX. Okay.
Hey there, Arian
40%
said a
stake in the
massive
company.
win for MAGA.
Okay, so we're waiting on a valuation of SpaceX. Once it comes back, he'll probably be a trillionaire officially. Massive win for MAGA? Yeah, bro. Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. Yes! Yes, big win.
Goes to show a point that I made in my geopolitical video that I keep referencing because it's an hour-long
Hell
video.
yeah,
Talking
roll
about all these
tide.
wars. A part of that was the destabilization of the Middle East. Why did those regime changes last so long? Why did they not work out for all those people? Well, because they were never supposed to. Regime change in the Middle East was never supposed to work. It was never about bringing democracy or liberty to those people. It was for the benefit of Israel. It was solely for the benefit that it could destabilize their neighbors, fuck up their countries, and let Israel gain more and more power in that region. And they have, because their goal over there is to become a superpower. The Greater Israel Project, we all know it's a thing. It's 100% real. That's been a project. That's been a plan for hundreds of years.
I love it when there's like, hundreds of years. More like 150 years. Like 175. But anyway, I was about to say, I love it when these guys have like a moment of clarity briefly. Okay. And he'll be like, yeah, like Israel is doing the they're doing a Greater Israel Project. Like, yeah, of course, like, obviously. Okay, this is good commentary. Okay, like that by itself is good commentary. But, they'll immediately follow it up with something like, and the Jews have been planning it for hundreds of years
said, since
in
the
their
Ottomans
shadowy
fell,
cabal.
The West has never stopped meddling with the Middle East.
Yeah, I agree with that, But anyway, the Israel Project in 1947, it really ramped up. Okay, it really ramped up. Yeah, it took. I know what was going on before then, of course, but yeah, that's just. I mean, I think as soon as we like invented cars and started moving away from like coal-powered steam engines, as soon as we needed oil, that's when that, cause like once you hunt all the whales to extinction, then what do you do? Then what do you do? Well, you got to get oil from somewhere.
Before Israel was even a state to begin with.
I love how they never call them Zionists and keep using the word Jews.
They do use the word Zionist. They just use it interchangeably. Okay, because all Jews are Zionist or whatever, or they'll like. They'll try to say like, oh, no, I didn't say that. No, I know all Jews aren't Zionist. Okay, whatever. Or sometimes they literally will say that. They'll be like, yeah, I am a fucking dumbass. Like, yeah, they are all Zionists. Okay, when in reality, most Zionists are white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Okay, they're just like me. They're just like me for real, bro.
They want to take over Palestine. They want to kill all the Palestinians. They want to ethnically cleanse those areas. And then they essentially want to become a world superpower. They want to become like the United States. They want to become like China. They want to become like a huge player to where they don't have to rely on its allies for protection. That's their goal. That is ultimately their plan. So it was never about bringing peace to the Middle East or liberty or democracy. It was always about destabilization. And a lot of people use that as a reference for Venezuela. It's like, oh, it's going to destabilize. And that's why I'm not completely convinced. Now, like I said, I could be wrong. And a lot of people are going to attack me and they're going to be like, oh, Tom, you're stupid. Tom, you're an idiot. It's like, yeah,
well, yeah, you are stupid. You are an idiot.
Arian
That's true.
said if oil is detected on Mars, we would have humans on the red soil sooner.
There could be oil on Mars, legitimately. Legitimately, there could be. Because if there was water on Mars, if we could find evidence of it, that means there's probably because Mars's surface is covered in soil. Okay, and I don't know if this makes sense to you. I'm not like a scientist, okay? I don't know. But like dirt and life, they're like, like you need dirt. Okay, Mars has dirt. Okay, but also it needs water. Okay, it's got to have water. And it did have an electromagnetic field. It had a strong EMF until I think a couple million years ago or something. I'm probably far off. I can't remember. Okay, but my point is it had an electromagnetic field. It's got dirt. Okay, it just needs water. And if it did have water, then it probably had life. And if it had life, then it could be oil under there. Who knows? But anyway, probably we won't find out in our lifetimes. I mean, I don't know. I don't really give a fuck. It's fucking Mars. It's like plus like you also have to think about like the the logistics of getting the oil back to Earth, that would be kind of tough, I think.
Said if water existed, then life definitely did. And
I
oil
agree.
is made when dead life gets put under a lot of pressure.
The only thing that doesn't make a lot of sense is when it comes to life on Mars, is they don't have a hot core, right? I don't think Mars has a, because like the Earth has a magma core, and researchers think that this is how life started, okay, because of the vents in the ocean, okay, the primordial soup. If a planet doesn't have this hot core, I'm not so sure how life could start in the first place. I could see how life could survive on a planet like that, but like the conditions for life starting, I think maybe unique
Hey
to
there,
Earth.
Aryan said, ODW man, they will figure a way to bring back the oil. Anything for the extra billion man.
Well, it's not really like, can we get it back? It's just, is it worth it? Because my understanding is that oil is a liquid. Liquids are pretty heavy. They're voluminous. Maybe you could reduce the weight somehow. I don't know. It's just like flying it back from Mars, flying a ship to there, and then filling it, and then flying it back. That's got to take a lot of, oil. That's got to take a lot of fuel. So I don't know. It could be possible. You're probably right. They'd probably give it a shot. Okay, when it comes down to it.
Well, half of you thought this was going to be Vietnam
Only
2.0,
time
so
will
what
tell.
the fuck? So what do you have to say about that? Your boy Maduro got fucking mobbed. You all look retarded as hell. You're fucking idiots. And now you're protesting in the streets for a dictator. It's like, suck a dick, dude. I don't give a shit about your opinion. But what I am saying is that what benefit does Israel have to destabilizing Venezuela? Oh, so they can flood the U.S. with more immigrants. Yeah, but our borders are closed. Oh, but Trump would make an exception for them because we destabilize their country. At most, what would happen is Venezuela would just end up being like a country like Egypt, to where we give them a bunch of foreign aid because we destabilize them and we have to prop them up. But I mean, if we're getting $18 trillion worth of natural resources, we have a hold on that, which, by the way, they were trading a bunch of oil with China and all of our enemies. Venezuela was. So it's like we have complete dominance over that. That's kind of a win. I mean, like, as long as the immigrants stay there, even if it is destabilized, if we have a control over that, and if we have a better control over the Western Hemisphere, that's not entirely a bad thing.
Yeah, man. America is so winning. You know what's going to make America win? If we keep dicking around and fucking with other countries. Yeah, that's so winning. Yeah, we're so gonna win doing that. Yeah, you know what we shouldn't be doing? We shouldn't be thinking about fucking stupid ass, gay ass renewable energy, and like, maybe trying to build our own supply chain for building solar panels, which are the most efficient renewable energy that is at the technological disposal of humanity right now. Yeah, fuck all that. That's woke. We need to fucking blast grandma in the head.
Equals more money to American oil companies equals more money in aid to Israel equals benefit to Israel.
Yeah. I mean, also having a Zionist in charge is gonna, like, it's not even just like America benefits, and then we give the money to Israel. Like, we're doing that either way. Man. But the fact that they are potentially installing a Zionist, it hasn't happened yet. It's probably gonna happen, okay, but it hasn't happened yet. Once they install a Zionist, this person is going to make deals with Israel, giving them oil, which is just going to improve the conditions in Israel. It's just going to give them more resources at their disposal to disperse to their people, which they do regularly. They all have free healthcare.
Winning, Mr. President. This is too much winning, Donald Trump.
Too much winning, yeah. Hey, you see my Trump bobblehead over here? Yeah. You probably didn't notice, okay, but this is him. I got Dan Bongino behind him, okay. He's giving the middle finger to the American people. Okay, that's what he's doing.
Hey there, Aryan said, ooh.
Fuck you, you stupid fucking peasants. I hate you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill grandma. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to shoot her in the head. She's gonna be like dead.
Now, like I said, it all depends on the immigration, whether we get another caravan or we don't. Even if it did destabilize it, it wouldn't necessarily be bad. And I don't think there's any reason for Israel to want that place to be.
Even if we did destabilize, are you listening to yourself, man? Are you? It wouldn't be bad. Destabilizing. It wouldn't be bad for anyone, at all. Like, dude, what? We've been through this before. I know you're a young man. I know you're probably like 19 or younger even. I mean, who the fuck knows at this point? Holy shit. With the like propaganda going around, like I don't know how young they're getting these days, but anyway, we've been through this before, man. This isn't an epic win. This isn't like a epic America victory that you think it is. Okay, because it never is.
Right? Or even us, because besides the immigration thing, like Venezuela...
They are going to hate us. They're going to hate us. They're going to resent us for a very long time because of this. Okay, maybe not right now, maybe not immediately, but you are so delusional if you think destabilizing another country is just going to be like a long-term, awesome, epic thing for America. It's not. It's not. We're screwing ourselves. And it's making shit worse. Nobody knows more peasants more than me. I am the best peasant. I'm the greatest, the biggest peasant anyone has ever seen. People with tears in their eyes, they come up to me and they say, "Sir, you are the hugest peasant we have ever seen."
A central banking system, that's a net positive for the Jewish bankers. It is.
That's
so it's
exactly
like what I'm saying,
what he would say,
I don't
bro.
think
You were
it's
so
going to go
right.
that direction. I think it's just going to be a puppet
I think you
government, and I think it's
broke
just going
my
to be another
text-to-speech
Jewish
up.
oligarch takeover of another country. And a lot of people say, "Oh, but that's horrible. We shouldn't want that." It's like, motherfucker, that's every country. That's your own country. That's America.
No, it's not. That's not every country. Look, okay, like a classic example of this would be China. Okay, China, they do deals with Israel, right? Okay, they do that. Do you think China has Zionist leadership? Is that what you think?
Hey there, Aryan said his
No,
vocabulary
it's not every
doesn't
other country.
extend beyond 4 syllables, fortunately.
Yeah, that's American education for you. You know, I've talked about this on stream before. And I want to give you a heads up about this. Okay, since you're new here. Okay, I am not a smart person. I am in fact a dumb person. But since you have just met me, you may believe that I'm a smart person. And the reason I say this is because oftentimes when I meet a new person, and even like, you know, my long-term friends and family, they think I'm smart. Okay, you guys think I'm smart. But I'm not. I'm not. This is an illusion. And it's an illusion because I was highly fortunate when I was growing up.
Hey there, Aryan said, "Good, you are not a smart person. Since DJT said, smart people don't like me."
Yeah, you're so right, man. And that's why I'm the biggest Donald Trump fan. Okay, that's right. You know, it's funny. Hey, look, I feel like I hooked you into my stream. I don't want to like drive you away, but I've made a lot of progress in my political worldview. But when I was younger, specifically when I was 15, I was a Trump supporter. Okay, this was back in 2016, you know, in the lead up to the election. I was a Trump supporter. I was a Trump supporter very early on.
Hey there, Aryan said, "Good to know, man."
Good to know. Yeah. You know, hey, my bad. I like to say, like, basically I was kind of like in the Hitler Youth, you know, because that's kind of like that's what MAGA is. You know, it's like the Nazi party, and I was a youth, so it's kind of like that. But anyway, I grew out of it. But anyway, I do have an expansive vocabulary. I know big word. I know lot big word, many big word. Okay, but this is because of my education. It's because of where I went to school and the opportunities that were
Aryan
awarded
said
to me.
it takes a lot to admit that you were in the wrong. Glad that you didn't go far.
Yeah, and you know, I'd be happy to like go into more detail about it. I'm not like obviously I'm not proud of it, okay, of course, but I'm also not like super ashamed because I've changed, I've progressed a lot, and I'm actually proud of that. I'm proud of the journey that I've gone on, and it's why I do this. I believe that people can change. I believe even a person like Tom Foe, as much as I make fun of him, and as much as I think he probably won't change, you know, he's capable. Because everyone is. Everyone can do better. And I think it's my responsibility, because I was like that, to try and talk to these people.
Hey there, Aryan said true.
Thank you. Thank you, man. But anyway, I had a very fortunate upbringing. I had a great education. I had a lot of teachers that actually paid attention to how I was doing and my grades and yada yada, my schoolwork. And most Americans, they don't get that kind of treatment in school. You know, they're packed into a classroom with 30 to 40 other kids. And the teachers are overworked consequently, and also they're underpaid. And that's why American education sucks. I mean, it's one reason. We could also talk curriculum, of course, but anyway, that's why I am like this, and that's why I talk like this. Okay, that's pretty much all I wanted to say.
You're not from Venezuela. You shouldn't give a shit. But this actually has an opportunity to help them. The average everyday
you're not from Venezuela either,
home,
bitch.
This could help them, and this could help us get rid of some of the immigrants we have here.
Now they discarded the Department of Education.
Yeah, Reagan did that. You know, people talk about Trump, and Trump really hadn't done a whole lot with the Department of Education yet. Okay, he's talked about cutting it. I think he has made some cuts to it so far, but he's been talking about like deleting it, hitting the delete button, and he hasn't done that yet. That would, of course, completely privatize education, which is an awful idea. Which is a terrible, awful idea. And like, you know, the quality of education is already so, it's tied to property value, so, you know, people in lower income areas get shittier education. And, like, that would just make it a million times worse, but anyway, Reagan is the one that started all this shit. You know, as with many things, okay, fucking Ronald Reagan started it. That man was getting busy, okay? Like, fuck the Iran-Contra scandal.
And
like,
illegal.
Everything else he
it gives
did.
us a monopoly
Everything else he did was
on
crazy.
a fuckload of oil
man.
and a fuckload of natural resources. That doesn't sound too bad. Now, I understand a lot of you guys are going to have disagreements, and I would like to read the...
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound so bad. Oh, yeah, just more stealing and pillaging and looting other countries. Yeah. Oh, that's not such a bad idea. Surely this will result in zero long-term consequences.
Those, I would like to see them in the comments. But I'm just saying, the destabilization aspect, I just don't see that happening at this point. And I could eat my words 2 weeks from now, like who knows. But what I'm getting at is it seems like everybody involved, including Israel, including the Jewish banking system, kind of has more to gain from that not happening. So I'm not completely convinced this is going to destabilize Venezuela. I'm not completely convinced it's going to hurt us in the long run. I think this is actually a net positive.
Justification.
Yeah, and also it's one of many colonial justifications.
We have more control over the Western Hemisphere. We have access to more resources, and now there's the possibility of us getting, rid of more and more immigrants, illegal and legal, that don't even want to be here anyways.
Yay.
They don't even like America anyways. I understand that's a hot take.
Yeah, they hate America. They hate America. They
do.
do.
But I mean, just look at the way people are celebrating.
That's why they
I even
came
here. I have an ex-girlfriend that I went out with, and a lot of you guys are gonna get mad that I even said this, but I have an ex-girlfriend. She's from Venezuela. She was here on like a visa thing, and it was for protection. She's fucking celebrating.
Girlfriend. That's cap, bro. That's cap. Come on.
Bro, she's had a Super Bowl for her and her family. And I remember and this was like a few years ago when I did go out with her. I remember talking to her about Venezuela, and she told me some stories. It's crazy over there.
It was a few years
she
ago.
wants to go back home. She told me that. She wanted to go back home. Her family wants to go back home. And like I said, they're celebrating. People all over.
She told me that. Yeah. Yeah, she said that she hates America. She hates this country, and she wants to move back permanently. That's what she told me. My Venezuelan girlfriend that is real.
That
is real and not
they
fake.
actually believe, all right, now we can start the process of going back home. And for us as Americans, I think that's good.
Right,
But I mean, I digress. I can go on and on. I'm not convinced that this is actually going to hurt us. I think this can benefit the American First movement. I think this can benefit the heritage Americans. But like I said, it all depends on the immigration. And even if Venezuela got destabilized and if it became like another country we're just giving foreign aid to help them, I don't think we would have to do that for that long because they just have so many resources. It depends on as long as we keep them over there. As long as they stay over there, it's good. If they come over here, it's bad, obviously. But I don't see that happening at this point. I really don't. And the fact that Maduro just got completely mobbed and there's no
More
civil
immigrants,
arrest in
bad.
Venezuela,
Less
like,
immigrants,
Arias
good.
said the
Like I said,
Venezuelan girlfriend unfortunately got picked up by ice pensive face emoji.
This was apparently a few years ago. Look, bro, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. There was no Venezuelan girlfriend. Okay, there was no girlfriend. This person didn't have a fucking girlfriend. I won't believe that for one goddamn second. Not even a second, bro. This guy, this booger eating dumb fuck. What are we talking about,
We'll
man?
kind of just have to wait and see. But my predictions at this point, if the regime change goes over smoothly and it's not like completely like a huge civil war over there, which I don't see that being a thing because people were just so dissatisfied with Maduro and with that government. As long as that doesn't happen, I think this might actually be a good.
What? Huh? Why is that? Why were they so dissatisfied with
said
Maduro?
It was his uncle's Roblox account. Man, come on.
Let's not talk about. Let's not go to Roblox right now.
And you have to call a spade a spade. The U.S. military doing this in this way was impressive to China. It was impressive to all
Not
these
the
different
uncle on
countries
Roblox.
because it shows how capable our elite military operatives are. And
they're so capable of smashing a frail 80-year-old woman with a
Hey
fucking
there, Arias
wall.
said XD.
Yeah, man.
understand how capable they are, but it's been a minute since we've seen
So
an example of
capable.
that, and this is a great example because this sends a message. This
Great
sends a message to
example.
Russia.
Yeah, it sends a message to all the grannies and memas out there. Yo, don't fuck with the U.S. government, grandma, or they're gonna come and knock down a wall on top
It sends
of
a
you.
message to China. And there's a lot of crazy things that might actually start happening with Russia coming up pretty soon because, I mean, they put out that warning to all Americans in Russia to evacuate the country immediately. That happened a few days ago. And now there's like a report I saw where there's a bunch of U.S. and NATO activity, aircraft activity in Europe going on right now. And the only reason that would be the case is for Russia. And I remember hearing rumors about how there was going to be a push to put U.S. military.
Okay, look, man, look, you have to stop talking about this. This is like the 12th time you've talked about NATO in the last month. Like World War III is about to start. This is a normal thing that NATO is doing, that they have been doing since the start of this war. Yes, they are reinforcing their perimeter. Why the fuck would they not do that? Russia is invading Ukraine. What?
In Ukraine, or at least in the way
I
where
don't
it's
know.
visible. We already know
Yeah,
people are
it's
there.
a mystery,
Now we're gonna
bro.
actively, like, well, no.
They're
And so
about
that might
to
be something
drop
that
the
comes up pretty
nukes.
soon.
That's
I could be wrong,
why.
but
That's
it looks
why
like
they're
something's
doing
gonna
it.
start happening with Russia. And China, they're gearing up to invade Taiwan. But now it sends a message to Russia. It sends a message to China. It's like, look, the U.S. military is very capable, and you should be cautious. I think that's the message it sends to them. Obviously, at this point,
Yeah, I don't think that's the message that they're getting, though. I don't think it is. I don't think China is looking at America like, wow, look at how sophisticated these guys are. Look at how, oh, damn, we better not fuck with these guys. Yo, the Chinese era of humiliation
Peter
must
Arias
continue.
said talking about NATO while actively threatening NATO allies. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, this guy is not very consistent. If you're looking for consistency in politics, it's just like, how can I make all of this about evil immigrants and also the male loneliness epidemic and also Jewish people? How can I fit one of these things into it? I don't know.
we'll just have to wait and see what comes from all this.
We'll
But
just
that's
have
it.
to
I
wait
can keep
and
going
see.
on and on. You guys know how I just yap. I can just like talk forever and just yell. I mean, that's just how I am. That's just how your boy
That's
is. But
true.
guys, what do you think? What is your opinion on this? What was your reaction? My favorite reactions were
That
all the
is
people.
typically what content creators are good at. You know, yapping nonstop.
People
I'd be
saying, oh
doing
fuck,
that
something
too.
did happen. Oh shit, something did happen because people were saying nothing ever happens, nothing's going to happen, and then they're all asleep, and then the shit happened. They're like, fuck, shit does happen. It's like, that's what I'm telling you. It's not always like this. It's not always shit you see on the news. Stuff happens every day, my friend. Things happen every day. All right, so
Hey there,
it's very
Arias
crazy. It's
said
definitely
all these
exciting
days
to see where
they
things are
had
going.
Biden to blame. Now since he's gone, someone's gotta take his spot.
Yeah, and it's the woke communist evil within. It's the evil within. Okay, it's the same shit. Okay, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Trump is establishment now. In the lead up to the election, he was anti-establishment. So here's what happened. Okay, when Trump first ran in 2016, He was anti-establishment. Okay, I know this. I fell for this back then. Okay, fell for it again award right here. Okay, and anyway, I supported him. I didn't vote for him. I couldn't vote for him. But anyway, then when he got into office, he became the establishment. Okay, and he made all these picks. Right, he picked all these people to be his Secretary of Defense, the DOJ with Jeff Sessions. Okay, you had all this shit, and these were like competent people. Okay, these were established people. These were establishment people. Okay, and so over the course of his first admin, Trump lost that anti-establishment credibility. But then somehow everybody just forgot about it, and he got it back. He became the anti-establishment candidate again in the latest election. And now now they're just coping. Okay, that's it. Now we have 4 more years of cope until hopefully Trump is removed from office. Okay, hopefully he doesn't pull a Caesar or whatever, make himself permanent emperor. But we'll see.
But what do you think? Do you think this is a net positive? Do you think this is bad? What do you think about the immigration?
I think that you're a dumbass. I think that immigrants are good for the country, for the economy, for Americans.
What do you have to say about like all the crazy communists here that are like protesting and they're all fucking mad? They're like, if you're okay with this, you're an imperialist. What's your reaction to that? What's your reaction to...
You are. This is just so obviously political expansion. And that's it.
People celebrating the people who want to go back home. Should we help them rebuild?
What is
your opinions on these things?
Imperialism?
This is a very interesting topic. And like I've said before, like 2026 is going to be a fucking crazy year. So get ready. It's going to be nonstop, and this is the first sign that we've had. It hasn't even been a week, and we've already gotten regime change essentially in another country, which is crazy. And it kind of gives us an opportunity to actually kind of get the ball rolling and getting a lot of these immigrants out of here, which also could benefit the Republicans for the midterms. Politics, the way it's moving is it's very quick. Everybody loved Trump at the beginning of last year. Everybody hates him now. The midterms are coming up. They need to start doing things from an optics standpoint to kind of get people on their side because everybody just thinks the Democrats are going to clean house. But that could change. Things are moving quick, and this could be kind of like the steps in that direction to keep Trump in power, to make J.D. Vance look better, like all these different things.
I mean, you're right, though. Actually, the Groypers are, like, unpalatable to a mainstream audience, so he is kind of the foe.
What do you think about that? What do you have to say about that? Let me know. And if you disagree, obviously, let me know below, because I'm sure some of my hot takes here are not going to go over well with some people, which is fine. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting this channel. This new year, man, 2026, we're going to be going hard. And I've said it before. And thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. But be sure to check out Rumble. Be sure to not only like and subscribe here and hit the bell notification here on YouTube, but follow me on Rumble, because we have Rumble exclusives that are going to be coming out, and you're not going to want to miss those. So go ahead, make a Rumble account, go follow me over there, go check those videos out, and follow me on X. Go ahead, make an X account, go on Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and look up TomFo1 and follow me. It's the same profile picture there. Interact with me there. We have a lot of fun on X, a lot of interesting interactions, a lot of crazy shit. Like, shit happens in real time on Twitter. You have to be on there, man. Like, everybody found out about this stuff within minutes because of X. Everybody who woke up to this, everybody who's on Instagram, TikTok, and all these different platforms, they found out about this hours after the fact. So if you want to find out shit when it happens, like in the moment, you have to be on X. So go ahead, follow your boy. But like always, guys, Jesus Christ is King of Kings, Lord of Lords,
also make
America
a
first
Grindr
always.
account
I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all later.
That's a RNC moment.